Hey, hello guys. So this is an important update about the board examinations of 2021 for class 12. The Education Minister, Mr. Nishan Pokhriyal Ramesh. So he has said that CBSE would soon release the dates for the board examination, and also on December 3rd, Mr. Ramesh Pokhriyal is going live to interact with students, parents, and teachers to come up with dates for the CBSE board examination. Now, interestingly, this year CBSE board has decided to come up with a new pattern for class 12 board examination, and there has been a shift. This happened last year as well. Shift from uh, like having facts and knowledge based questions to more concept related and application oriented questions, which will test your fundamental understanding of the knowledge of different subjects. So across subjects this has been happening. In this video I'm essentially going to speak only about the subject of physics. So if you look at this year's board examination pattern, as usual it is a 3-hour exam, 70 marks for the theory part, 30 marks would be tested on the practical side. Now this theory part of 70 marks has been divided into 5 sections, A, B, C, D and E. And there has been multiple choice questions which was there last year. It has been removed out directly. There is no standalone multiple choice question, and this is a big change from 2020 to 2021. So in 2021, no standalone multiple choice questions. That is, you will not have a question with which is having 4 options and you have to pick from the option. So that type of question is completely removed out. So section A is comprising of 1 mark questions, and in these 1 mark questions you have 14 1 mark questions, where 10 questions will be like one word or answer in one line. So it's 1 mark questions with 4 questions having internal choice. So internal choice is one where that suppose say third question has an internal choice, you will have this or that. You have to only attempt one of those 2 questions. So likewise, out of those 10 questions, which is going to be like a short line answer, you will have 4 questions for which there is internal choice. And there are 4 questions based on assertion reasoning. So assertion reasoning is where you will have 2 statements. Statement A will be given and statement B. 2 statements A and B will be given, and depending upon how these statements, whether they are true or whether they are false, and whether each statement explains the other, based on that you will have to mark the answer. So assertion reasoning is one. It's a new entry into the CBSE board paper. And to honestly tell you, I'm not a very big fan of assertion reasoning question, because sometimes in assertion reasoning there can be ambiguity, in the sense that somebody can think that two stuff, suppose say there are 2 statements, statement 1 and statement 2, both the statements are true. You will have to differentiate between whether the second statement B is the correct explanation for first statement or not. So in such cases there can be ambiguity, and clarity might not be there. So CBSE, I'm not sure why they have introduced this new type of question. So there are 4 assertion reasoning questions. Nevertheless, not that every question will fall into that category of ambiguity, but anyhow, my opinion is that this could have been avoided. Now coming to the next section, section B, they have introduced yet another new type, new variant or new entry into the board examination, and it's a good sign that they have introduced this type of question, section B, that is, which is case study. So case study is where they will give you a particular situation. It's like a comprehension in your English paper. You will have a comprehension. You have to read, understand that, and based on that comprehension, you will have to answer a set of questions. So on similar lines, here you have a scientific case study where they will give you a particular situation. You have to read that particular situation which is given in the question, and based on that, there will be a set of 5 questions. So there are 2 case studies. So there will be 2 paragraphs given. For each paragraph, there will be 5 questions, and out of those 5 questions, you have to answer any 4. So how these things will be designed is, the questions that are tested. So if I've seen the sample paper. In the sample paper, what they have done is, these questions, most of them they have given in such a way that if you read and understand the paragraph, you should be able to answer a majority of them. But also some background knowledge of physics subject would be required. So based on that, there were a few questions where you must know the theory of certain chapters which is there in your syllabus. So based on that and relating it with the comprehension, you have to answer those questions. So this is a new entry. In competitive exams, this is a very common thing. You have comprehension based questions where you have to read the comprehension, understand the comprehension, and based on that you will have to answer certain questions. So this is especially a question type which appears in the JEE advanced examination. So they have introduced this in the CBSE this year, but it is not that it is going to be very tough and all that, but you must have a very good conceptual understanding of the subject to answer few questions out of the case study based question. So it's a thumbs up for CBSE to introduce this in the new pattern of the examination. Now coming to section C, the third section. Third section has 9 2-mark questions, and you have to attempt all the 9 questions, in which 3 questions have internal choices. So you can attempt this or the one of the 2 or questions you have to attempt. So there are 3 questions which have internal choices out of a total of 9 questions which you have to attempt in section C, each carrying 2 marks. And then there is fourth section D. Section D is 3-mark questions. Now 3-mark questions, there are 5 3-mark questions, out of which 2 questions have internal choice. And lastly, you have section E, which comprises of 3 5-mark questions, and each of these 3 5-mark questions have internal choices. So every question, this or that, you have 3 5-mark questions. So if you see total, the tally of question numbers. So let me just quickly list it out for you. Now section A has 2 parts. You have 10 short answer questions which carries 10 marks, and there are 4 assertion reasoning, each carrying 1 mark, that makes it 4. And in section B, you have case study. So you have 2 case studies. So each case study has 4 questions. So totally that makes it 8 questions, 1 mark each. So that makes it 8. So till here you have had 10 plus 4 plus 8, 22 questions. Section C, you will have to attempt 9 questions, 2 marks each. So 18 marks. Section D, you have 5 questions, 3 marks each. So that makes it 15 marks. And section E, you have 3 questions, 5 marks each. That makes it 15 marks, which should sum up to a total of 70 marks. Now you count number of questions. You have 10 plus 4 plus 8 plus 9 plus 5 plus 3, which totally sums up to 33 questions to be attempted in a time of 3 hours. So you will have to start practicing these type of questions, which will be conducted by your different schools. So depending upon how well you are able to manage the time, especially this year there is a pattern change. So you will have to be cautious how to manage the 3 hour, how we will split it between these things. Now one very interesting thing to note, this happens every year in CBSE board examination, that the internal choice that is there, right? So this or that. So whatever internal choices you are having, they will be from the same chapter. That is, suppose say there is a question based on electromagnetic induction. The OR question will also be based on electromagnetic induction. It will not be, they will give one question from ray optics and another OR question they will give from a chapter in modern physics. Okay, so the OR question will be based on the same chapter. So that is one more thing which you need to note with regards to the CBSE board examination. And one more thing, Mr. Ramesh Pokhriyal, he has just asked NTA to come up with the new syllabus for 2021 JEE Main as well as NEET. Note that it is only a new syllabus. It is not a compulsion that NTA will change the syllabus for JEE Main or NEET. It is only that they have Ramesh Pokhriyal has asked NTA to come up with the new syllabus and give it out to students. So whether it is going to be a changed syllabus or whether they are going to stick on to the old syllabus, so they have to release that syllabus soon. So we'll just wait and watch what is going to be the syllabus that would be released by NTA for the upcoming 2021 JEE Main as well as NEET. So all the very best, guys. So prepare well. At the end of the day, it is your preparation and the amount of time that you put in for preparing yourself for the different patterns of examination is what will really help you. And all the very best. I'll see you in another video. Bye, guys. Take care. Stay safe.